You're listening to The Building Code, your guide to a better way to run your business. I'm Tom Houghton.
I'm just Paul.
You're just Paul today.
I mean,
after that
was one of your best right there.
Thanks.
That was really good.
Thank you. It's just the show vibes.
Oh, so
because we're here at the
showmanship
International Builder Show.
You sure it wasn't this,
just,
Tom?
No.
The giant coffee
Yeah, the
that
huge
followed us
coffee.
down.
That voice you may recognize. It's the voice of none other than Matt Reisinger joining us. Hi, Matt. How are you?
Great, Tom. Thanks for having me on, dude.
Yes. Welcome back to the podcast. We had you on earlier. We
I know.
loved
Not that long
episode.
ago.
That
I was talking
great.
nerdiness on that episode.
Building science.
I like that.
I love it.
Repeat? Are you our first repeat?
No.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks a lot, Paul.
But a loyal.
You're our best ever.
Ooh.
No,
Not.
but he is our 50th podcast guest.
Hey, that's even
How
better.
about that?
That's a big
50th
deal.
episode.
Milestone
this
City.
one. 5-0.
That is a big deal. Thanks for having me on,
Yeah.
boys.
Back where it started. This is
right.
a big show for you. This is a
Man.
big weekend for you. We were just
It's
talking
like
about
the
that.
Super Bowl for me, Paul.
Super Bowl.
Every minute of my day is scheduled.
Yeah,
But it's super fun. I mean, as my YouTube channel has grown, I remember a couple years ago, I had, 5-6 years ago, I had 3,500 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and I'd come here and I'd walk down the hall and be like, "Hey, you're Matt Reisinger, right?" And I'd be like, "How do you know me? Like, what?
Yeah.
How have I met you before?"
Yeah.
And honestly, 5 years later, when a lot of people say that to me, I'm still like, "How do you know me again?"
So
Oh, yeah, you watch my videos. And it's getting creepier, though. Like, people really know a lot about me.
yeah, I've always wondered, because I know you don't say this, but you're basically a celebrity inside this industry.
It's weird.
It just is what it is. So
Yeah.
how have you settled into that? Is it just still a little awkward, as you said?
It's still a little awkward because I'm just a dorky builder,
Right.
doing these videos that it's kind of funny. My mission, honestly, is a little similar to Buildertrend. I'm doing it to help people.
Yep.
And I'm really passionate about it because I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've made a lot of errors that I've paid for. And, Buildertrend fits right in with that because I've also made a lot of financial and business mistakes, change order mistakes that Buildertrend's helped me solve.
Yeah.
And that's not a paid commercial. That's just honesty. I think that's one thing that people like about my videos is I'm real honest with my mistakes and my failures and saying, hey, look, I jacked this up. Here's what you should not do. Here's what I did, and here's how to do it better. And I'm generally pretty positive on my videos, but I try to be critical of myself in the past and errors I've made. And I think people appreciate that
sure.
I'm willing to
Yeah.
talk about my failures and not
Yeah.
just my successes.
Well, they appreciate it on two levels. One, they probably made the same mistake as you, so that's
Yep.
that shared sort of empathy.
Yeah.
But also, it's like, okay, I hope I don't do that. So that's like business coaching.
Yeah.
Everybody's making mistakes.
Yeah.
Besides Tom.
I got one funny story for y'all, though. So
Yeah.
this is the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me, probably.
Okay.
I'm at the Builder Show this morning. It's 7 a.m. I had to meet someone before the show opens. Not many people out front, right by
Right.
where the big IBS logo is.
Yep.
And this woman comes up to me who's, a little older than me. And there's a man next to her, but he's kind of slinking back a little bit. She goes, "Oh my gosh, Matt Reisinger, it's so nice to meet you. My husband and I are builders in this part of the country, and we watch all your videos. On Friday nights, it's like date nights, and we're having a threesome with you on the couch."
Oh,
and,
my.
and her husband had this I can't believe my wife just said that, and please tell me that she didn't just say that. And he wouldn't even shake my. I was trying to be
yeah, it's a little
laugh it
awkward,
off.
no.
It's super awkward. I was like, did you really just say that to me?
Wow.
That is the
Great.
most awkward thing ever.
He's a married man, folks. Stay back.
You could have explained watching Matt Reisinger on Friday nights 100 different ways.
A lot of different
Not
ways.
having
But
to
not
use
that
threesome.
way.
Not
Not-
having to use threesome.
My
When it-
hope is that she meant the three of us were on the couch talking building
I
science.
assume
Absolutely.
so.
That's
exactly
that's what
was
I'm going to
happening.
assume
Let's
that she meant by
let's
that.
not go down that other
Yeah.
side of
No, it
what
was-
that could have meant.
What happens in Vegas stays in
Yes,
Vegas.
we are in Las Vegas.
So
There you go.
I was thoroughly creeped out, and now I just told the world on your
Yeah, there you
podcast.
go.
Even though I
you
was
heard
like,
it first.
even though the guy I was with, I was like, don't ever talk about this ever.
Yeah.
Now here I'm telling
Well,
everybody about
That's a
it.
good story, though.
It was a pretty good story.
Thousands of listeners. They're a part of it now.
Yeah.
100,000 people just heard that story.
There
That's
you go.
right.
And growing. So
Absolutely.
what's your week look like?
Bunch of appearances,
Yeah.
a bunch of cool stuff, giving a bunch of talks. I love giving talks at IBS because people that know my videos then get to hear from me. And honestly, it's crazy being a YouTuber. I'm almost 50, right? I'm not some 25-year-old who's out there with a selfie cam. But all these people know me. And then speaking of YouTube, this past year I've had the privilege of meeting another giant YouTuber, this guy named Matt Carricker. Who's got a channel called Demolition Ranch and Off the Ranch. And man, when I met him, I got another 100,000 subscribers because all his 10 million people were introduced to me, or 3 million on the channel I was on, and a bunch of them were in the building world and started following me. And so it's been crazy giant year of growth in 2019. I had a great year for my building company. I had a great year for my video company. My YouTube channel did really well. So IBS is super fun. It's kind of my Super Bowl every year.
Yeah. Well, you also launched a new website,
Yeah,
right?
we got a brand new venture. BuildShowNetwork.com.
Build Show Network.
The Build Show or Build Show?
BuildShowNetwork.com.
What's the reasoning behind that? Tell us a little bit about
Well, a couple things. YouTube doesn't give me a lot of metrics, and only gives me a certain number of ways to partner with people and to talk about things. And honestly, on my videos, I like to talk about whatever's interesting to me at the time. I don't want to do just advertorials or be a corporate slave. I want to talk about what's interesting, how to build a better house, how to help people build better houses, the business of building better houses. But of course, I'm a products guy too. I love interesting products and things that are going to help you with that. But by having my own network, now I can get other builders to also, who are really smart in other parts of the country and have a different style, whether it's an architectural style or whether it's a building style, they can also shoot there. So I kind of coined it Netflix for builders, right? You can go to this website, and right now, 5 days a week, you've got a brand new video every single day from one of our 4 people, and we're just adding a 5th guy as of the show. This is the first time I've talked about it. A guy named Steve Basic, who's an architect in Boston, really smart architect, does great building science. He's joining us on BuildShowNetwork.com, and now he'll have a video too. So now 6 videos brand new from job sites around the country on BuildShowNetwork.com.
That's awesome.
And so these are educational?
Yeah, mainly
basically
focused on education.
Okay.
Helping builders build better houses.
Right.
With the kind of the underlying core of educating people on durable, healthy, comfortable, efficient, all those things on building a better house.
Okay, cool.
I love
we
it.
gotta check that out.
Just all in the name of making the whole industry better.
Yep.
So we're in the next build, and every booth in this next build area is about technology. And I think besides being a business and making money and being profitable as a software company or a technology, I honestly have talked to a lot of vendors, and a lot of us are at our headspace now of like, it's time that this industry gets the technology thing. We lift it up. Let's make sure everybody knows that we are a forward-thinking industry.
Yep.
That's what we're all about, honestly. I mean, that's really what drives us beyond, the business side of things.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say you're seeing that this week, though, Paul? I've met a lot of builders who are the second generation, the 25 to 35-year-olds taking their dad's company over or their mom's company as mom and dad are retiring out of the business. We've got this next generation of builders that are savvy.
Yep.
And pretty soon are going to be the days that the concrete sub faxes their invoice into the builder's office. Believe it or not, I talked to a buddy yesterday that was that. And he was talking about how to get him away from the fax, and the guy started texting him a picture of his invoice that he hand wrote. So we're getting there slowly. But I feel like we've got this really young generation of builders that are like 25, 35, 40 years old that are really smart and savvy. They're looking to us as kind of the older builders. I'm lumping myself in that older builder category now.
Ouch. Self-inflicted wound there.
Yeah.
You're still young.
Yeah,
25 years in the business this year, Paul.
Well,
so I've been around the block.
Yeah, experience.
It's
good.
But I learned 10, 15 years ago, before there was a YouTube, from builders that were 10, 15 years older than me. I had kind of a mentor relationship with them. I had several guys that I went to lunch with once a month. And these were guys that are now in their mid-60s. At the time, they were mid-50s. And I was talking to them about problems I had on the job site. What do I do about this? I got this issue with the client or with the contractor or a change order, or this issue with a sub who's dealing with X, Y, and Z. How do I deal with that? And that's kind of what my YouTube channel does. And honestly, that's a little what your podcast does too, right? You're getting builders on that are talking about their specific issues on the job site, how Buildertrend's a part of that solution.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the feedback we get typically from our listeners is that they love hearing sort of that shared pain.
Absolutely.
And that connects everybody. And we always talk about this podcast as it doesn't have to be about our product.
No,
it's
not at all.
one side of our business. I'm more interested in talking about our people.
Yep.
And then hearing from our clients and hearing their story. I mean, that's really what makes the listeners go on this one.
You have great people, Paul, I got to say.
What's that?
You have really, really good. That is the difference over here.
Yeah.
We've used some other software and some other technology before we came to you guys. And you guys have some awesome people.
Yeah.
I mean, here's a story. One of my office, a woman who works in my accounts payable, when our Buildertrend inside person had a baby, she sent her a gift from our office and had us all sign it because she knows her so well and appreciates her help so much. She sent her a baby gift.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, thank you for that.
For sure.
That's a testament to our founders and all the leadership at our company. I mean, we do have great people. The feedback we get at this show, we love being here.
We do.
Because it's one of the only times besides Buildertrend University that we get to actually in person meet our clients.
Yep.
And they always say the same thing, like, man, your people are great. They're so young and energized and they care, which is, it's crazy. I don't know the secret behind it. Maybe it's just Omaha, something in the water.
There's good people there.
It's good people there.
Yeah.
That should be the new slogan for Nebraska.
For Nebraska. Good people are here.
They have a really bad one now, so
Yeah.
Nebraska.
There's nothing else to do? Is that the slogan?
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. That's the slogan? It's not for everyone?
That's current.
That's
yeah.
terrible. That's
Yeah.
literally the slogan,
That's
Tom?
Yeah.
literally
It's not
the
for
slogan.
everyone.
That's terrible.
It's an acquired
We
taste.
need to work on that.
terrible.
Nebraska needs some branding.
Yeah,
Yes,
they do.
they do.
Maybe Buildertrend can
Yeah.
help with that.
Wait, what was
Hey,
it before
worked
that?
out- They won an award actually for it, that campaign though.
No
because,
way.
Yeah, because this to maybe spin this in a little marketing conversation here. Obviously, not the best marketing choice, but the backlash from it, the outcry from it
Was worth
so
it.
huge.
That's hilarious.
National attention across multiple media
It's like
channels.
North Dakota. Like
Yeah.
North Dakota came out with a slogan for their anti-drug. It says meth, comma, we're on it.
Yeah,
Like we're on top of taking care of the problem. But
yeah, but it
it's
seems
like we're
it
on
could
meth.
read. Yeah, yeah.
That's true too.
There's
So-
no such thing as bad press.
Yeah.
That's true.
True story.
There you go.
That's hilarious.
We digressed.
Yeah.
I got a bad press story for real quick. It's kind
Yeah.
of funny. There's another YouTuber, this guy named Meet Kevin, that's made several videos on what an idiot I am.
Wow, nice. Very nice of him.
Yeah, it's kind of, you know what? It's kind of funny though, because it's actually gained me a bunch of new subscribers. Because he's got like 200,000 subscribers, and I've been working on this remodel in my Texas house, and he's kind of an investment real estate guy.
Okay, yeah.
And so he was like watching my video on camera, pausing it and saying, "Now here's where Matt's an idiot doing this, this, and this." But you know what? It's gained me like probably 20, 30,000 subscribers. He's made 4 or 5 videos, and every time he publishes one, I get a text message from like 15 builder friends. Have you seen this video, Matt? This guy's raking you.
Jeez.
I'm like, hey, there's no bad press.
That's true.
So crazy enough, he reached out on Instagram to me. He was like, hey, man, I hope there's no hard feelings. And funny enough, like in every video, even though he rakes me, he's always like, oh, and by the way, Matt's a great builder. He's just not doing this, or this well. So he reaches out to me and says, hey, I'm going to be in Las Vegas this week. I was like, dude, let's meet up. I had dinner with him on Monday night.
So you actually met
I
Kevin.
met him.
You
I had
broke
dinner
bread
with him.
Right
well,
there.
no, his name's Meet Kevin. What was
His
that?
name's Meet Kevin.
Kevin.
So you
Yeah.
met Kevin.
I met
You
Kevin.
missed that joke. I just did.
I was moving on to the
All
bread
right,
joke.
sorry.
Crazy
Go
enough,
ahead.
he's actually a super nice guy, and we had a great chat. He's hilarious.
Well, you know, there's an angle there. Nobody
Yeah.
knows. If you guys become rivals online,
Yeah.
but you're actually friends,
Yeah,
just
totally.
like that, you'll create like some really good press.
Some
It's
good
true.
buzz. So there's no bad press, is what I'm
So
saying.
I think you should go meet Kevin again, video him videoing you,
That's right.
talk about him, and then it's just like a whole.
It's a whole thing. It's just
It's like a repost on Instagram that just keeps getting
Exactly.
reposted in the mirror.
yeah.
Oh man, that's great.
Speaking of mirrors,
Oh, good transition.
Oh,
thanks.
man, Tom
Let's talk
knows.
about some of the
What a
great
pro.
products that we have here at the International Builder Show. I'm sure you've been around the trade show floor. It's
Yep,
massive.
yep, there's
If
a
you
lot
haven't
to
ever
see
come
here.
to the International Builder Show, you need to come check it out.
Yep.
You should. Next year's
so-
in Orlando. I
Yes.
think the rotation is every 2 years now.
Yep.
Something
So
like that.
it'll be Vegas, which we just had, and then Orlando.
Yep.
But it's really, it'll blow your mind how big it is, right?
Yep.
That's
Yes.
probably the first thing.
It's crazy.
I mean, you cannot. I think many people have told me this. If you just walked a normal pace down every aisle, try to see every vendor, you couldn't do it in 3 days.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So that's how big it is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So I'm sure you've seen a lot of great products around. What's in the building science world? What are you excited about right now?
Oh man, that's a great question, Tom. You know, I haven't seen any breakthrough this year. Like I was here 2-3 years ago, and this is super nerdy, but have you ever heard of aero barrier?
Mm-hmm. We talked about it actually on our last podcast.
Did we?
Yeah.
Aero barrier is a relatively new product. It's like an aerosolized caulk that fills all the cracks and crevices in your house and really air tightens your house. And I saw it here first at a show. They were like in the junkiest, cheapest booth in the back that I happened to walk by one day and was like, what is this? And it's a total game changer. And they've blown up in the 2 or 3 years since then. I haven't seen that aero barrier product yet this year that's the game changer. But I have seen a lot of incremental stuff that I've liked. And honestly, one of the things I love about the Builder Show is all the vendors that you might consider in one spot. For instance, builders, when it comes to showrooms for windows and doors, there's a million of them around town. You have to drive forever to see them all. Whereas here, if I want to go see Anderson, Jeldwin, Marvin, boom, they're all in one area. I can visit each one and say, okay, I got this kind of project, this kind of budget. What do you fit? What's new? What are the differences? What's the fit and finish of this and that? And visiting those is really fun. So for instance, Jeldwin has a new product that's a composite window. I'm going to use it on my personal project. It's really, really crisp. It has very crisp kind of wood interior feeling, but it's a composite product. It's basically wood fiber and polymer together combined. But they've done a really good job, and they've got black on black, which builders love.
Nice, yeah.
And that's what I'm using on my house.
Why do builders love black on black?
It's a super hot trend, is black
It's
windows
clean.
and black interiors.
Oh,
And,
so black.
black on the outside, black on the inside.
Oh, wow.
And the one thing, what's up, Brad from AFT
Brad
Construction
from
walking
AFT
by. We got a
Construction.
celebrity right here.
All
with
the
Brad.
celebrities are in the house.
We're
Celebrity.
talking about you.
Talking about you, Brad.
Yeah.
Celebrity. He's a total celeb.
Yes, he
So
is.
anyways, the black on black thing though, a lot of window manufacturers will have black outside, but when you open the window, it's a big white channel in
Oh,
there.
okay, that's what I was confused about. So it's just the whole thing is black,
The whole thing's black.
not the glass.
black.
Not the glass.
You don't black out glass is not quite as exciting.
No,
you can
yeah.
spray paint it if
Yeah.
you want
Put
to.
a little tint on there.
Yeah.
So I have a question. I've always wondered this. If you were saying you're a builder, you've never been to the International Builder Show, here's why you should come. When you're going to those window manufacturers, are you trying to get to know them in general? Are you trying to find out new products? Or like you said, I wouldn't have thought of this, you're actually talking about a specific project that you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's both, Paul. A lot of it's specific projects you have in mind, and that's the beauty of these kinds of shows is you got, a remodel and a new build and this coming up, and you're trying to figure out, what do I recommend? What do I do? What are the options out there? Oh, I ran into this vendor and I didn't even know them. I never heard their name, and they had some really nice products. And sometimes you walk by something and realize, oh, that could solve a problem for me. That's really cool. Aha.
Yeah, so
Or
it's
you
like awareness.
or you come to you're in the tech area here, right?
Yeah.
You have an issue with whatever it is, change orders or billing clients or invoicing or AP or AR.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, Buildertrend, how would this work in my business? I do $2 million of
Yeah.
remodeling. Would this even help me?
Yep.
And then you guys will sit down with a person
Yep.
for 15 minutes and ask them about their business. Okay, let's see whether this would help you or not.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
And having that face-to-face, and I do that whether it's a window manufacturer, a technology company. The key, though, is finding someone knowledgeable. And I'll tell you, I'll give you guys credit. When you come to the Buildertrend booth, you talk to someone who's knowledgeable. In several booths, we've been really kind of frustrated at this show, like, oh, I actually don't know the answer to any of those questions. And our one tech guy has 5 people waiting to talk to
Right.
him, so
They just want, like, a
sorry.
lead from
You're
you.
like, what? No. I need to talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about.
Right.
One of my guys specifically mentioned NanoWall, and they went to the NanoWall booth, and some dude there was one of my Hugo, who's with me, one of my builders, was like, dude, that guy was unflappable. He could not be flapped. I asked him 10 questions. They were really hard questions. He needed the exact answer to all of them. He was like the legit knowledgeable guy there.
Yeah.
That's good.
And that's what builders like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you can get a card from that guy too.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's your
And-
contact from now on.
Yeah, like you got a question. All right, maybe you're not based in Austin like I am, but I could call you and go, hey, I got this issue with this house. What product do I need? How do I fix this? Or frankly, I got an issue with your product. How do I get some service on it or whatever?
Yeah.
And then you have
Yeah.
a name and a face.
That's really, so that got me thinking, when you're a builder, as you are, Matt.
I am a builder.
Yes, you are. Good,
He checked that box.
Check.
Yeah.
How do I want to phrase this? What value do you bring in new ideas to your client? Or is there value there? Does that make sense? Like for me, I'm not really interested in new ideas. I probably have it in my head already if I was going to build a house. Like I want that.
Sure.
But is there value, I guess, saying as my builder, hey, Paul, have you thought about this awning with the copper and showing people that? Is that like,
Yeah, that's a great question, Paul. It really depends because we're such a diverse community among builders. So for me, I'm kind of an old school general contractor where I don't do any design work. I don't do any interiors. All I do is build for you.
right?
And my value to you, if you're my client, is that you've already hired an architect, you've already hired an interior designer. I'm going to review those plans with a really critical eye and go, hey, this selection, this type of architecture, this whatever, I've had this, and this issue with it. I'm willing to do it, but I really want to make this, or this change to make sure that we don't have a problem down the line. Or have you thought of this, which is a similar look, but may not have this issue, or even, of course, every builder deals with budget, right?
Right.
Guys, I've said this several times, even in my talks. No matter what your price point is, whether you're building $50,000 kitchens or $5 million houses, the first budget you present to a client is always too much.
Yeah.
And they never can understand why you would recommend taking their 6-car garage down to a 4-car garage to save money, because they have to have it, or their their $250,000 media room. Could we drop $50,000 on that budget? No, I need that media room. I can't live without that.
Right.
So we're always dealing with that pressure from clients, and that's where our value comes as builders. But there are a ton of builders here. My buddy Nick Schiffer at NS Builders. He's doing some design build. He's building cabinets. He's doing all kinds of stuff for clients. He's not really doing design build per se. On some of his jobs he is. He brings a lot of value in those other aesthetic issues that he brings, and he's a savvy guy. And there's a lot of builders like him that are doing design as well as build.
Yeah.
And I think for those builders, this is an even more critical show to not miss.
To bring that strategy, new product. Have you thought about this?
Yeah, it's great because it's a great place to meet other builders, right?
Oh man, that's the other thing we haven't even talked about. It's awesome.
Exactly, and I mean, we're even seeing that here at the booth. I just had a conversation earlier with Chris Gorman from Chris Gorman Homes. Chris was here, and we had some people had stopped by the booth, said, "What's Buildertrend?" And he's a Buildertrend user, and he immediately jumped in before I could even start saying, "Let me tell you about Buildertrend." Anyway,
yeah, there's a lot of cool meetup stuff here. Like, did you guys do something recently?
Yeah, so Monday night before the show started, about 25, 20, 30 builders probably. Just builders, nothing else, no manufacturers met for dinner.
Awesome.
And we've been doing that for 2 or 3 years now, and the group's kind of grown a little bit. It's all dudes that I know from Instagram, and sometimes I'm like, "Oh, you're Northern Build Pro. I have no idea what you look like, but I love your Instagram feed. You're awesome." And man, this community, I think there's not too many markets, there's not too many industries in America that have the kind of camaraderie that builders have, but honestly, it hasn't always been that way.
Right.
When I started in this business 25 years ago, and then when I transitioned 15 years ago to my own company, there's a lot of hesitant people to share their secrets, to talk to the competition, even people in other markets. But we also didn't have Instagram 15 years ago.
Right, there wasn't a medium to do this.
Yeah, so now I can ask a builder in Idaho, "Hey, what do you charge? How do you do your pre-construction agreements? Hey, what's your strategy on change orders?" And he doesn't feel the pressure of, "Hey, I might compete for the same job next week with this guy." He knows I have no skin in the game. He's not going to lose any business to me, vice versa. So we can be really real and honest with each other, and honestly care about each other. And man, that's your brotherly love right there.
That's
huge. Builders who care about each other and are willing to share those quote-unquote secrets with each other.
Yeah, when I was on the front lines, selling this 14 years ago, it was a lot of, "Hey, don't tell somebody I'm using Buildertrend," or there was no sharing at all. And then, this has really changed that, which is great.
Yeah, it's been good.
Speaking of sharing, let's transition really quick. We got some questions from some of our followers.
Oh yeah, let's do it, Tom.
You ready to answer some questions?
Q&A, baby.
Oh, my.
All right, here we go. So from @Greenside Design Build, they asked, do you plan to address or spotlight any healthy home initiatives on your channels?
Oh,
Thoughts
man.
about that?
Yeah, that's a great question. Who was that from again?
From @Greenside Design Build.
Greenside Design Build. All right. So not to knock his name, because he's got the word green in his name, but one little comment I would make is when I started my blog, which was before YouTube even, like 2007, I called myself Matt Reisinger in the Green Building blog. And if you came to IBS in like 05 to 08, every manufacturer was talking about how green they were. There's a bunch of green booze, a bunch of pictures of the planet on there.
Yeah.
And so I started this blog, Matt Reisinger in the Green Building blog. And green building is basically high performance building.
Yep.
Yeah.
But oh, by the way, we're also doing things in a sustainable way, in a smart way, in a healthier way. But the word green is totally dead in my mind. People won't pay for green. They never did. That's why we transitioned out of it. It's a buzzword that means nothing now. So then we kind of transitioned to high performance houses. And we're still kind of in that phase right now where a lot of us talk about ourselves as high performance builders. But I think the new thing that we're going to start talking about more and more is actually healthy builders. Builders who build healthy. I heard somebody quote yesterday, I'm sure I can't tell you who attributes the quote to, but they basically said, our houses are basically sheds for our families, to store our families. if you're going to store your family somewhere, wouldn't you want to store them somewhere that's healthy?
Sure.
And of our days on Earth, like 40% of them or something are spent in our bed.
Yeah.
So how healthy would you want your bedroom air quality?
Yeah.
If you're going to spend 40% of your life's hours there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, if you kind of keep those things in mind, I think that there's a lot to be said about building a healthier, smarter house with really good indoor air quality. That's going to be a place that your kids, whether they have asthma or not, are really healthy and thriving. And it's interesting, too, on a kind of a side note to that. Have you seen the Sakasui house, guys that are here? That's that Japanese company that did the show house that's off property here. Or
No.
Japanese company that bought Woodside Homes in America a couple years ago. Woodside's kind of a large-ish production builder. And that off-site house that's built right outside of town that I visited last week before the show started, the Sakasui house, or the Choa house, I forget what they call it. Anyways, their whole point is a really healthy house is a happy house. That you should grow and age in place and should be just as healthy 30 years from now as it is today.
Nice.
And man, that really resonates with me. And it's funny how sometimes, not always, sometimes the Europeans, the Japanese are a little ahead of us on this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
it'd be interesting to see how they're marketing their new houses in Japan or Germany or some of these other places, and what they're using to sell. Because when you go to those markets, they are not building 200 square foot houses.
No.
I mean, they are building probably 500 and up per square foot or more. And for them, it's all about the envelope, the shell, the durability, the healthiness. What's this going to be like when I pass it on to my grandkids someday? Because I'm not thinking about this because I'm going to move in 3 years. I'm thinking about this because my third generation Reisingers are going to live in this house.
That's
a
really
whole
interesting.
whole different mindset.
Yeah, that is. That's cool. So you're already thinking about grandkids, huh?
I hope so, man. My oldest is just turned 14.
Oh man.
But I turned 50 this year, Paul.
I know. You've been acting like you're
50th episode, 50-year-old Matt. There you go.
Here's the point. Here's the funny story on that, though. I'm actually 47. But one of the guys I work with, Pete's like, "Hey, Matt, happy 50th." I was like, "Dude, I'm only 47." He's like, "Matt, if I asked you what time it was and it was 12:47, would you tell me it's 12:47? You would say it's 12:50, wouldn't you?"
Oh man.
He's like, "You get it on the back end, though. When you're 53, people are still going to say, hey, it's 12:50.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 50.
So for the next 6 years, I'm 50 years old.
I love it.
50.
I love
That's
it.
funny.
50.
Love that
Yeah,
mindset.
isn't there like a skit?
That was,
Yeah.
who was that actress on Saturday Night Live? who
Yeah.
did that?
I'm 50.
I'm 50.
We'll get the little clip now. We probably
is
have
her name?
copyrights.
Brad can't.
Probably
yeah.
can't do that.
Oh, okay, that'd be awesome.
Just YouTube it.
Go to YouTube.
And then
I'm
while you're
50.
there, why don't you subscribe to Matt's channel
Oh,
in case you
nice.
haven't subscribed?
Yeah.
And
Good
Buildertrend.
transition, Tom.
And Buildertrend.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
to our
We have a
YouTube channel. We absolutely do. We have got some great content on there now.
YouTube.com/Buildertrend.
Yes, that's us.
Excellent.
How about
do
you?
it.
Why don't you share yours?
YouTube.com/Matt Reisinger.
Boom. There
Let's
you
go.
go.
Let's
Hey,
go.
I think we've got time for maybe one or two more questions. Is
Yeah.
that cool
Oh,
with
I
you,
like
Matt?
it, Tom. Let's do it.
Okay. Richie Home Builders, they asked, how do you introduce Buildertrend and all of its features into your routine? What did that look like for you?
Oh, man. So I've got a bigger team than I used to have a few years ago. So I've got basically 4 chiefs that run my 2 companies. I have a company that does my videos and my video production and my website, and I have another company that's my home building company. And man, my chiefs did an amazing job. And I had kind of what I would call a champion. I had a team of people choose Buildertrend. This wasn't a, hey, Matt's telling me I have to do this. And that was critical for my success. I basically had kind of a 4-man team, or I should say 2-woman, 2-man team that chose Buildertrend. And so that crew really were the ones that implemented Buildertrend. But I'll tell you what was critical for us is we had 2 of your guys come down and as offsite consultants, and I'm sorry I don't remember their names. They were amazing. They spent 2 full days with us, and that was probably 2 or 3 months after we implemented it, and that was critical to success. That is money well spent. It wasn't that much money. As a builder, you should definitely spend that money to have the on-site.
There's something that when somebody comes into your environment and really understands physically how you guys do things as well as like your processes, I think things click a little faster that way.
Yeah, I mean,
It's worth the investment, yeah.
the uptake after that was really quick and really good for us.
That's great.
Yeah. Good stuff. One last question.
Yeah,
Should
let's
be
do it,
pretty
Tom.
quick.
Final one.
This is from Ben Horning of BH Design and Build. He asked, what is your favorite thing about Buildertrend?
Besides the
Besi-
podcast.
and besides us, which is a
Besides
part of
Tom.
the podcast. Oh,
Yeah.
me. And you.
Okay.
Mainly Paul, but a little
Yeah,
bit Tom.
there you
Okay,
go.
thanks.
Nice.
Thanks. Yeah.
For me, honestly, the biggest issue that Buildertrend's helped me with is change orders and change order management. I have lost, I can't tell you how many thousands of dollars on bad change order issues, whether it was that they didn't get written up early enough, whether they didn't get signed. So, I mean, there's a whole podcast episode where I could spill the beans on my dumbness over the years with change orders, because I'm a cost plus builder. And so, a cost plus contract, just because you think you have a cost plus contract that's a really good one that says, here's the cost, you pay them, and then you pay me, that doesn't mean you actually happens that way.
Right.
And so having Buildertrend and a really organized and technology solution to change orders, man, that's a game changer for us.
That's one everybody shares that pain. I mean, I think if you're in construction for any amount of time, you've gotten dinged on change orders.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
No doubt. And whether you're a $50,000 kitchen remodeler or a $5 million builder, you are going to get dinged on a change order. And it's going to be painful.
Yeah, the pain scales. So just because it's $500 on a $50,000 change order, that hurts.
Oh, man.
And a couple $100,000 on or whatever else. So.
And there's a million mistakes you can make, but having a really organized, easy system to do them in the field with your iPad and even get a signature right there and get paint. Now you guys have some payment options as well, like the Rocket Loan guys are here too.
Yep.
And you guys make it really, really good for me.
That's awesome. That was like 3 features that are your favorite within
That's
one.
good.
It really wraps back to change orders, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be maybe we should think about a change order podcast.
I like it.
Top 5 dumb things that I've done on change orders or not done on change orders.
All right.
Mark it down, Tom.
Teaser.
Already down.
Teaser.
Q2
Stay-
2020. Stay tuned, my friends.
Stay tuned.
Matt's dumb issues that he's made over the years.
It'll be our most popular episode. And hey, how about that? On that episode, we'll all come through. Like, I'll just talk about mistakes I've made in my life.
Yeah, I'll do top
you-
5 things that we've made mistakes in.
Maybe I'll just get my wife on here. She's got it like just rattled off.
That'll definitely be the biggest downloaded podcast ever, Paul.
Ever.
Paul's personal life and his mistakes.
Paul's mistakes.
We want to peek under the covers, Paul, and find out.
How do I get it down to 5?
Yeah, that's the problem. Me too on change orders, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, if
All
you
right.
enjoyed this episode with Matt, don't forget to check out our other episode with him earlier where we spoke a little bit on change orders. We
Yeah, a
talked
little
about some
bit.
more building science. That's episode 21, so make sure you check that out. Matt, thank you so much for coming on the show again. We always love chatting with you. We, of course, wish you success in both of your businesses.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate that.
Don't forget to check out the Build Show Network. It's just buildshownetwork.com.
Yep.
That's
You
awesome.
got it.
So-
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all having me. Have a good rest of IBS 2020.
That's right. We're about halfway through.
That's right.
Thanks,
oh, my
Matt.
gosh. That's right. Halfway through.
Yeah.
All right, boys. We'll see y'all later.
All right,
Thanks.
thanks.
Love what you heard? Don't forget to rate and subscribe to our podcast so you can hear from more guests that will benefit your business. Also, please check out our show notes page for more information on what we discussed on this episode. You can find it at buildertrend.com/podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on The Building Code. Appreciate you.